Myself, Master Bharut Samyak. I am from Department of Mechatronics. I am from TY. Today I am here to present on the topic Air Surveillance Radar ASR of my CI activity of Subject Digital Signal Processing. My topic is guided by Professor S.S. Kulkarni sir. So firstly ASR. ASR stands for Air Surveillance Radar. ASR means to detect flights from the airport which are in the limited area of the air surveillance radar. We can detect direction of the flight, altitude, latitude, speed, etc. First, air surveillance radar is used to detect all the flight movements in the specific airspace. And air surveillance radar is a radar system used at airport to detect and display the presence and position of aircraft in the terminal area, the airspace around airports. It is the main air traffic control system for airspace around the airport. At large airports, it typically controls traffic with a radius of 60 miles, that is 96 km of the airport below an elevation of 25,000 feet. The minimum means we can the minimum value of ASR means we can detect 96 from 96 kilometer. We can detect an aircraft, we can detect its position, speed, etc. etc. As the received echoes results from reflection of the primary signal with an aircraft, and ESR is a primary radar system. Its frequencies employed lie in the S band between 2.7 and 2.9 GHz. In most cases, they are secondary radar system which receives periodically transmitted signals of aircraft encoding example position and altitude. Frequencies used for transmission and reception lie in the L band between 1 GHz to 2 GHz. Now this is an concern peak of ASR which is located at an airport. So there are two types of aircraft ASR, that is first is primary surveillance radar and second is secondary surveillance radar. Yes, this is an peak of again an ASR. We can see that below side horizontal netted 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 metal is primary radar, and each upside secondary radar is means it is small in size. It is small in size compared to primary. Secondary radar is small in size to compare to primary radar. Firstly, primary surveillance radar. Primary radar is a radar means we can target or target any aircraft, or if we want information without cooperating means we, for an example means we can if we send a request to X person but he doesn't respond to us, then also we can trace him. Like that primary surveillance radar works. So firstly, primary radar is able to track any targets no matter if they are cooperative or not. Second, the primary radar is that huge rotating parabolic plate like the thing you see in aerodromes. Primary radar basically works by transmitting a signal and capturing the reflections from the targets. The greatest thing about primary radar that it does not need to the object to give its permission from to trace. From this, the system can measure the distance of aircraft from the radar antenna, azimuth or direction of the aircraft in the relation of the antenna. So second is secondary surveillance radar. Secondary surveillance radar is little bit upgrade of primary radar. Uh, just we need some uh, cooperation from the aircraft to receive data. It is not like of primary. The secondary radar, also known as SSR, secondary surveillance radar. Secondary radar is lot complex than the primary radar. It is hard The secondary surveillance radar uses a second radar beacon antenna attached on the top of the primary radar antenna to transmit and receive area aircraft data for barometric altitude identification and emergency conditions, military, commercials, and some general aviation aircrafts. The secondary radar system operates in the range of 1030 to 1090 megahertz. As coin has two sides, head or tails. Also, same here. Pros and cons of air surveillance radar. Firstly, pros: advantages of ASR. It can detect targets and determine ranges. It maintains 360 degree of surveillance from surface to altitudes. It determines bearings of the targets in larger area. Secondary surveillance radar detects aircrafts and also provides altitude and identifications. It is a high power radar in the range from hundred of kilowatts to several of megawatts. It provides security against attacks at night and in poor visibility conditions. It can scan beams continuously. Now, disadvantages of radar system: ASR cons. It requires huge antenna and transmitting section as well as receiving sections. Hence, it can only be used as static radar and it is strategically located. High power clutter and identification are the main drawbacks of primary surveillance radar PSR. These are overcome by secondary surveillance radar SSR. It requires large space in the airports, so this is an biggest disadvantage of the system. So thank you one and all.